And here we go. We're
Thank
up
you
and running. Yes, of
so
course.
much. Thank you. Um, okay.
We
So
out here.
we
We
out
out
here.
here recording. All right.
We're out here recording.
That's
Thank you
what's
so
up.
much for speaking to me. This show was lovely. I didn't
Oh,
expect so much emotion from it. Um, what I want to talk to you about, because it's really interesting, we heard of Pimp My Ride and all these other shows before involving cars and restoration. But for you, what did you see that was different with this?
well, what I saw was the fact that we were gonna be able to get to know the crew who's doing the work on the cars more. There were ladies in the garage, which I've always known, but it was really cool to see it on TV, man. Because they're like, some of the smartest, most talented people. The whole crew is, but it was just awesome, and it's what's different from the predecessor, and on top of that, like I really didn't. I got into the show because I knew that we would be helping people that would need that help. And I remember watching Pimp My Ride and one my car pimped and couldn't afford that. And so I was like, to be able to bless people like that was a very enticing part of why I took the job. But it really wasn't until we got to know these people and I saw their faces. They saw like this thing that they loved, and something they can like utilize and cherish. That's when I realized how much heart was in it. And I was like, damn, maybe I should roast them less. But I think we did. I think we had a good balance, man. I think we had a good balance. It was fun. It was a fun balance of trying to find the funny and the heart and do stuff cool enough to impress some folks. So I think we hit it all.
You did. You did very well. So, kind of going into the comedy aspect a little bit with you, the roasting obviously was really funny. I want to know kind of what is your technique? Do you have the information beforehand of who these people are and what the car looks like, or are you just going from just complete improv?
Well, I saw them beforehand, so it's when it comes to roasting, it was a challenge in trying to find the line between roasting and like because like I didn't want to roast them too much, like the people themselves too much, unless something just kind of came to me or whatever. And I'm sure I did, and we just didn't put it in. Thank you, editors. But but it was like normal roasting, there's no holds barred. Like you can say whatever you want to say. There's no rules. But with this, there are rules. We can get away with some roasting because we know we're gonna help people, and so like if you're roasting somebody or something that they own, knowing that you're gonna change their life in a way that I'm okay with. But it was trying to find the line. So really, it was about getting to know the people, seeing the car, but mostly kind of vibing with them and and it just kind of came naturally like as we had conversations and I hung out with everybody the jokes kind of just came so it was like just kind of seeing the car, having been a person who's owned a old car, heard all the jokes before. It wasn't hard to pull from the wheel of your car shitty material.
So,
But it
I
was
want to
fun.
talk. Oh, I want to talk a little bit about the crew. What I love is we get to know the crew because usually they're just like, people in the background fix cars.
Right.
So can you talk about, first of all, I was wondering in the development process and also with the crew, did you have any say or did you know of any recommendations of people who are, I guess, fixers? I don't know the proper word, mechanics that could see the beauty out of something that is old and tired.
No, that was all the team. It was all Michael Dare, Hurwitz, and Netflix. They are the ones who found the people and did all the groundwork. For that, they brought me in once they had found the people, and then I was able to see submissions and kind of and just get to know them through the videos before I met them, so I could kind of like have some kind of ideas of or direction what I wanted to talk about with them and ask more about. I'm hoping with if we get a second season, I'm able to be a part of the process. It'd be great to like pick folks. But as far as those mechanics, they all come from different parts of the country and and in their respective worlds, and I guess they got them all together. So it was really cool to watch them work together for the first time and then grow as a crew throughout the series, and just to see how close they got and like and because you're talking about serious car people, yo, like they're not used to doing it. So I mean, Lacey has her own thing going on with the internet. She's really good at it. But like they all like they you know they're not acting and taking cues and doing all that. So to watch them like do all that on top of their actual talents was really cool. And see them coming out of their shell was dope. I think they picked a really awesome crew, man. Like couldn't have more fun. And now and I'm like, we need a second season now so they can now be comfortable knowing what we're making. Like this is their first TV show, so it's like now they know what they're doing. Like let's change some old lives here. You know what I mean?
I was wondering, by you being sort of a veteran of TV,
Oh,
was you able to, well, it is true, you've been in a lot of things. Were you able to kind of guide the people, or even the crew members, to what it is like to be on TV?
I mean, I hope that I helped. You know, I just try to make the vibes as fun and loose as possible, and really try to stick my landing. I'm gonna be honest with you. Sometimes they had lines down more than I did, you know, because I'm not used to having lines doing reality unscripted. You know what I'm saying? Like they were like reading their lines. They really took this thing serious, man. And so I mean, I think they kind of caught on pretty quick. I would assume they would have their own personal feelings about it, but everybody was just so naturally like good at what they did and really knew themselves, which is half of what it takes to be on TV. Um, so they really didn't need much outside of like, you know, if you say something wrong, you can say it again. You know what I mean? Like and like you have a lot more grace with the edit. And so like just like there was like little moments, you know, if somebody felt away or felt like in their head, you know, I just try to hopefully be there and be a person of support, you know what I mean? Because I just feel like a fun set that means fun results, you know.
How do you feel that hosting kind of adds to your repertoire of being an actor and also a writer behind the scenes?
It gives the kids in my family something they can watch, because I'm usually making some foul mouth comedy, which is my brand. But it's nice to have something that families can come together and watch, and someone can say it's a feel good show. I like my stuff to I like myself to feel good in a way, but I never, you know, it's nice to have something that feels good. I look back and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember I almost cried from watching this, and you know, it's just a cool another aspect to to what I do. Yeah, which is nice.
Have you picked up or learned anything about car mechanics since hosting?
Oh man, yes, I've learned. I got so much to learn, but I'm learning slowly. You know what I'm saying? You know, I eventually want to be like 75 building a car for 20 years. You know what I mean? Like that's my end goal. So I want to learn all of it, man. So I learned a bunch of like I learned what cars look like when they're getting broken down and how you break them down, and I didn't, you know, I didn't know any of that. I could survive. Like if my car is broken down the side of the road, I could fix it. But like
Right.
I could do the bare minimum. That's the bare minimum. You know what I mean? Like what I want to learn how to paint, and I want to learn how to cut things up and put them back in there. You know, and I want to learn the terms for those things. So I got some learning to do. You know.
So what did you say has been kind of the most educational moment that you still kind of retain though?
The most educational moment that I still retained. Um, man, there were so the brothers Saul and Oscar taught me how to apply lighting to the inside of a roof. And it's
Mm.
thousands of little needle prick lights that you have to weave in. And so I saw like it was like one side Saturday. I was like, because I for one of my birthday, I got my girl those. Somebody put them in there. I just paid for it. But like, but I've always wanted to know how you do it. And so they showed me, man. And just the level of meticulous planning really stuck with me. 3D printing. I had heard about it, seen it a bunch, but Nelson is the first person that showed me how to 3D print something that doesn't exist by schematics and like completely creating something out of absolutely nothing. It was just mind blowing to me. And furthermore, you didn't ask this, but I asked Nelson to make me a gun just to see if it would work, and he did not because it's illegal. So that sucks.
I want to thank you so much for speaking to me, and many wishes for the future, and of course of season 2 of Resurrected Rides, because it's amazing.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. You better frolic through
you.
that grass. You got all that grass. You better frolic, girl. You better frolic.
I will frolic. Thank you.